Now listen, we got a lot of questions about your origins, but I think for B Hen, myself, and Teague, and probably the fans as well, we have one question that we gotta start off with.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hulk Hogan.
We coming for you. Man, what happened right there?
Iconic moment in wrestling history.
What happened right there, man?
Hey, man, I'm from the neighborhood. You know what I mean? I'm from the neighborhood, and that's a word that just to educate everybody. That's a word in my neighborhood that was used on a regular basis.
Yes, sir.
But I can tell you, other than that one moment, that's the only time that any of my peers has ever heard me say that word. And the reason why I feel like that was perhaps the most memorable moment in my career from a negative standpoint, because I got so many young black kids looking up to me.
Yeah.
And if they see Booker T, they say if Booker T can say that word, it's cool for them to say it. And my thing is, with young black kids, I always try to teach them that you got to know how to change your levels. You know what I mean? When you go in for a job interview, you got to know how to conduct yourself. When you're on television in front of millions of people, you got to know how to conduct yourself. And for me, that word, I feel like should be eradicated from all of our vocabularies as black folk, because we are the only ones that look at ourselves and look down on ourselves. That's why I feel like that moment for me was one of the worst moments in my career, because so many young black kids, as well as white kids, Mexican kids, Bad Bunny, you know, as a kid, looked up to Booker T. So I just want to make sure I represent properly.
Most definitely. Now, it's interesting that you say that, because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us love that moment, obviously, just because we've all been there from a mental standpoint, and just seeing it happen is like that.
No doubt.
But then we look at other situations like with Kirk Angle and saying his preferred choice of a name, saying, I know you guys revere that, but that's something that hurts me. So for here, you said it was like, you know, yeah, you guys love that, but that's like not one of my proudest moments.
No.
That's just an interesting perspective from that situation for sure.
I mean, like I say, I'm from the neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
But like I say, I wouldn't have made it this far in this business. 35 years, guys.
Make some noise for that, 35.
years. I know I still look like I'm in my 30s. I get it.
He only
It's
35.
the hair color.
I'm 35. You've been in the business since I was a kid.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
But you don't make it that far by osmosis. You don't make it that far by slipping on a banana peel.
Yeah.
I mean, preparation is the only luck you're gonna have in life, let alone this business.
No, for
That's
sure.
for sure. So we got to take it back. So I'm a fan. I've always watching wrestling since I was a little kid, and I remember you back in the WCW days. And I fell in love with you with Harlem Heat and Stevie Ray. You and your brother, y'all came out with that theme song and that music, and like you said, as a young black kid, I seen y'all on TV, and I'm like, oh shit, like, they wrestle? Like,
Yeah.
And that moment right there made me fall in love with wrestling. So when they said we had Booker T on the show, I'm like,
Nah, he was
nah,
geek.
I was fanned out. And they make fun of me because I lift weights, and he called me Booker T every day.
Nah, man, representation, man, is
Yes, sir.
very, very important. You know, when I was coming up, I got a chance to watch JYD, the Junkyard Dog. He was my guy that I looked at and say, man, I want to be like that dude, man. I want to represent like that dude. And for me and my brother, we got that chance. You know, we say, let's just get our foot in the door. That's the only thing we need. Just let us get our foot in the door, and we'll do the rest. And, man, we had a hell of a run. 10-time WCW Tag Team Champions, along with our sister, Sherry Martel. Man, and we beat the hell out of Buff Bagwell and the Patriot. The Nasty Boys, the Steiners. Man, we beat the hell out of all those guys, man. And it felt damn good being able to go out there and, you know, put ourselves in position where, like, young people like yourself was watching us, but so many others around the world to inspire, to be able to inspire, to be able to be the best that you possibly could be in this world, man. But I appreciate that.
Did you introduce your brother to wrestling or?
No, my brother introduced me to wrestling, actually. I had came home, everybody know my story. I came home from prison, and but my brother, he always wanted to be a wrestler. And he knew this guy opening a wrestling school, a guy by the name of Ivan Putski, who's a WWE Hall of Famer as well.
Yep,
And he was like, "Hey man, you want to go to this wrestling school?" And I was like, "Man, I'd love to, but it was $3,000, and I didn't have the money to go to the school. And my boss that I was working for sponsored me to go to the school. And my brother and I, we went at the same time. But I always say that I'm living my brother's dream. You know what I mean? This is something my brother wanted to do. And then my brother had a tryout, and I just followed my brother to the tryout. And one of the guys by the name of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert was there, and he said, "Who's this guy?" And he goes, "That's my brother. Is he a worker?" He goes, "Yes." "Well, we're looking for a tag team." Boom! Damn. There it is, the beginning of the Ebony experience, which came along later on to become the Harlem Heat. Yeah, man, great time, yeah.
For sure, man.
B Hen, you gotta know their first name though.
What?
Yeah.
Ebony.
Ebony experience, man.
The what?
The Ebony experience. Bad, man. Booker T and Stevie Ray. The Ebony experience. That's just like the remote controls, man.
I was about to say.
That's innovative. Now, you know why we was there, the Ebony experience? It was this black wrestler back in the day. He used to wear a mask, and his name was Mr. Ebony. And he used to get his ass whooped every time. We say, we go represent for Mr. Ebony properly. And became the Ebony experience.
Okay. All right, that's hard. Because I got something called the Hendrix experience back home, so we one and the same.
All right, most definitely.
For sure.
It might be two different programs, though. Definitely two different.
Word.
Most definitely. Listen, man, so many questions about his historic career. I know we talked about this when you kind of had first transitioned over from WCW to WWE. Now, you're a part of one of the most historic matches. Now, we see a lot of these people on Instagram now, they doing like the independent wrestling type situation where they out in the airport with it, they out in the streets with it, but y'all was one of the first to go to the supermarket with it.
Yeah.
Please talk to about that historic match situation, man.
Nah, man, the grocery store fight with Steve Austin. You know, it was an iconic moment. I never imagined it, weathering the storm and, lasting more than 20 years. I never imagined that or anything. Steve and I, we were just going out and creating, work, creating some magic, and doing what we do best, and that's entertain the fans. At that point in time, that was called the payoff, which, it was time for me to put Steve Austin in the proper position. And for me to do it to the best of my ability. I watched that video literally 6 months ago for the first time.
Wow.
All right?
Wow.
6 months ago, the first time I watched the Stone Cold Steve Austin and Booker T in the grocery store. And I swear to God, I cried real tears from the beginning of it to the end because it was that damn funny.